Alright gentlemen, today I'm going to be installing this mag spring into this Glock 43 magazine. This factory Glock 43 magazine doesn't have the pinky extension on it, and this is particularly good for concealed carry because it doesn't extend the base of the gun or the grip too much, so it doesn't stick out on your back or wherever you carry the gun. And this 43 only has a 6-round capacity, which I mean is okay, but yeah, I want some more rounds. So this mag spring right here promises to increase the round count by 1 with the same length of the magazine. So we'll see how this thing works and if it's any good or not. This base plate right here, this magazine only has 6, and the style of the spring allows it to be compressed even more so that you can fit an extra an extra round in there. Which, if you're gonna carry it, you want to have more rounds in the gun. It's better than less rounds. So let's start and see what we got here. So let's check out what they got in here. Alright, so this looks like it's a brand new follower. You got to replace the follower inside there. It's probably a little thinner or something, so they can get all the way down at the bottom. And this kind of Z-spring kind of thing. I guess this can compress down really flat, but still have enough springiness to feed the rounds properly. So yeah, it basically just wants you to take apart the mag and reassemble it with the spring and follower. So we'll try that and see how it goes. And the instructions on here, it's going to show you that you have to have the spring in a particular orientation. So we're going to try and make sure that fits so that we don't have any problems with feeding. So first thing, it says to take apart the magazine. So these kind of Glock mags, this one's actually brand new, so it might be a little bit difficult to take this base plate off. But this is just a Glock punch tool. You can use any kind of punch really, and you just have to push in this little hole at the bottom, and I'm gonna have to slide the base plate off. So I might have to do that off camera depending on how difficult it is. So you want to push it in, and I'm gonna use the punch to kind of get this thing started. Oh man, that's tight. Okay, I gotta start it a little bit. I'm gonna use like the edge of a table or something to get it off. Hold on, let's see if this works. Oh yeah, okay, there it comes. Oh. Alright, so now here's I guess this is the lock plate. Yeah, they call this the lock plate. It goes into the bottom and it fits into that little hole. This is what you're compressing on the outside. Here's the factory spring and follower. So that's pretty much it in the mag. So let's follow these instructions and try and get this thing back together quickly. Let's see, the Z spring has to go in a correct orientation. Let's see how to do that. Sorry, I gotta do this backwards because the camera's facing the other direction, but let's see. Alright, so this looks to be the correct orientation, so let me flip it over so you guys can see. I believe this is the correct orientation, so we'll try and give it a shot and see how it goes. So let's try and match it up to the picture over here. Face the mag this way, spring this way, follower this way. So you can kind of see that picture over there. It really emphasizes having the ends pointed in the correct direction, and says to put the base of this on the lock plate like that. So we'll see how that actually fits in there. But let's try to slide this all up together. It says to be careful because this edge is kind of sharp. It's kind of like if you were to like cut open a soda can or something like that. It might be sharp, but let's see. Okay. Okay, I just dropped that one in there. It's going to be a little bit difficult to feed in at the same time. Keep the orientation correct. So let's see, there we go. We got that seated up there, fine. And yeah, wow, this thing is sharp. Good thing I have gloves on because it might cut you, so please be careful. Yeah, this thing is definitely sharp. I can feel it even through the gloves, so if this thing were to slip, it might take out a little chunk of skin or something on me. But let's see, gotta get the mag plate in the correct orientation. The base plate facing this way, so you gotta slide the base plate on and keep that locking guy in there correctly too. But yeah, this thing has a lot of tension, so that's good. So I mean, that's not gonna have any problems feeding, I think. But We don't know yet. So alright, I'm gonna try and get this thing started on the side first while holding that spring compressed in there. Alright, I guess you can't do it that way. You're gonna have to take this lock plate out and then we'll be able to slide it on. Now the round end faces the front, so let's get the lock plate in here. And then start sliding it. Oh, caught the glove. Alright. There we go. That should be it. Let's see how this thing feeds. Okay. Let's see, so it has a totally different look to the top. So I'm gonna just try to load some rounds into it. So there's 6. Oh yeah, this is tight. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Some binding in here right now. Maybe I put the spring in the wrong direction. Well, it's not wanting to let me put this last one in, so I might have to take this thing apart again. Double check the orientation of the spring, because that didn't feed, so or didn't load into the mag correctly. It makes a kind of interesting noise when you're loading these rounds in there too. Kind of a scrapey noise. Yeah, so this thing's got to be in the wrong direction. I probably screwed up the orientation of that, or it's just catching in the wrong way somewhere. So you can't even get 6 inside there. Let's see if we can get the 7th there. But yeah, let's take it apart again and see how it goes. So they're round 2. Alright, that came off a lot easier that time, but the first time I guess it's going to be a little stiffer. Let's see, I'll take this out again. Follower's in there correctly. As far as I can tell, that's how the spring is supposed to fit. So, alright, let's try this again. Follower's all the way in there. Whoa, that was dangerous. Yeah, you definitely want to be wearing some eye protection around this guy because that spring is sharp and I wouldn't want that to cut your eyeballs. It flies out of here. So let's see, get that in place. Now, I'm not sure if that one was backwards or what the problem was with the orientation on that thing, so let's see, that appears to be snapped in there correctly. Now let's give this another shot. These are Spear Gold Dot. I think these are 124 grain hollow points, and they got kind of this interesting bonded lead copper jacket situation going on. But these are pretty hot and they're good for defensive use. So there we go, we got 6 in. Let's see if we can get the 7th. Oh baby, there we go. 7 loaded into this mag. You can't really use the round indicator things, but those never really work correctly anyway. It doesn't really index or line up anymore with the holes, so you're just gonna have to rely on knowing that you got 7 in there. But yeah, it works, so wasn't too difficult, but it is a little bit dangerous, so keep an eye on that. Use some gloves, wear eye protection, and there you have it. Alright, just doing a little size comparison here. This is the one that we just installed, the mag spring in it, and here's another factory one that has the same capacity as this one originally. It was 6 rounds, but it has the pinky extension on the bottom to get you a better grip. But you don't get any extra capacity with that, and it's really a shame that this thing can actually hold 7, but it only holds 6 by the factory, and you can just swap the spring out, and now you got 7. So it's really a no-brainer, and it costs about $20. So you got to take that into consideration too, because these mags are only maybe like $25 or $26 brand new. And the spring almost costs as much as a mag, but to have that extra capacity, I mean, you're gonna be willing to pay that $20 if you ever do need this. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be happy you spent that $20.